All right, welcome Home Improvement and Home Podcast fans. I'm Jordan, here today, as always, with my co-host Adam. Adam, how are you doing?
Good, how are you, Jordan?
I'm doing grand, especially since we're going to be talking about the most emotional moments on home improvement history. So
I'm getting weepy just thinking about it.
I know. So before we get started with that, don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel as we continue to put out more and more of these videos. And with that, let's get weepy.
Let's do it.
All right. First one on my list, most emotional moment. We've got the rain, and I did basically scenes. Maybe you talk about episodes, but I've got the Randy cancer scare episode. That is the longest day from season 5. And in this episode, in this moment specifically, we got Randy in the arcade saying he doesn't want to die. He did this research on his own and found out. You got the Tim and Randy father-son hug going on. I think in this episode, if you're thinking more too about the episode as well, they do some flashbacks with Tim and Randy as a baby at the gazebo and all this kind of stuff. So it's an emotional episode. You get JTT doing his best, acting here, being emotional. So that was number 1 on my list.
I had that as well. It's funny. They a little bit manipulative with the I see skies of blue. Maybe a little bit much, but it's probably the go-to emotional scene for Home Improvement. I think this would be probably what most people would expect, and it is very emotional. Good acting on both sides. Stressful episode. Good scene, good moments, good choice, Jordan.
Thank you.
I know you're scared. I know how you feel.
I don't. I don't want to die, Dad.
Oh, come on, man. You're not going to die. Even if you had cancer, which you don't, you do not have that. It's a treatable kind, okay? Huh?
Let me talk about a little something, season 1 episode, For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Oh, man. One of our favorites.
Yeah, one of our favorites. And it's the scene at the end of the episode. Tim has a friend, Stu Cutler, comes in. They're old. I don't know if they were actually in a fraternity together, but they're old. It's like frat brothers, right. Seeing each other after several years. And Tim's moved on, grown up, got a job, wife, kids, family, so on. Stu hasn't. He's still kind of a partying guy. And we get to the end of the episode, and they share a very frank scene where Stu gets kind of emotional and, maybe confesses that his life is difficult and hasn't gone the way he wanted, and Tim kind of, confides in him and vice versa. But it's a really good scene, well acted.
Yeah, definitely one of our favorites. And I guess one of the most, it's early on in the run, so it was the first emotional episode we ever really covered, Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a hidden gem as well. Maybe people don't think about that one as much.
Well, every single episode of the this YouTube series, we just keep talking about it, so maybe they will.
Hey, this is Tino and Porsche. It'll be like old times.
Tell you what, why don't you go down to Club Piranha and you hang out with those guys tonight?
Without you? Come on, it won't be the same.
Stu, I don't think it is the same.
Dad, dinner's ready. Can I turn on the video?
Not now.
Okay.
All right, next on my list is, this probably hit you more than anyone else, and that's when the Colonel passes away in Taps in season 6.
Yeah.
You've got Jill kind of avoiding her family, specifically her mom and dad. They want to come visit, and then the Colonel passes away. She lied to them. She feels like that's the last thing that she told her dad was a lie. And then there, of course, later on in the scene or in this episode, she's in the study with her mom, and they're reliving some of the moments and kind of hashing out this feeling that Jill has. So it's a very emotional episode. Anytime someone passes away, obviously, that's tough for a character.
It is tough, Jordan.
It is
well
tough.
said.
Yeah.
I also had Taps. I would highlight a different scene, and that would be when Tim is alone on the couch. He gets the phone call.
Oh, yeah.
And he takes that call. Jill comes in. She's had a really great day out and about because she blew off her family, and she's got this freedom, whatever. And Tim comes in and has to deliver her, tell her that her dad passed away. And it's just a really well acted scene by Tim, very understated, and Jill as well, Patricia Richardson, just portraying grief. I thought that was really an excellent part of that episode. But yeah, very sad.
Very sad. Oh, crossing off the list. All right.
Oh yeah, you know me.
Oh no.
It's okay. I'll pack. You don't have to worry about a thing. I'll do.
No, you don't understand. Dad called and asked if he could come visit here. I made up that story about how I was sick. How could I do that?
You didn't know this was going to happen. You just need time for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, you don't understand. I could have seen him one more time. I could have told him that I loved him. The last thing that I said to my father was a lie.
No, hey.
I have a couple more. Do you have more?
I have one more.
Okay, go ahead.
So my last one may be a little bit more uplifting than the Colonel passing away. We've got Chicago Hope from season 5, and this is the episode where Jill and Tim are going to like a Japanese hotel, and Tim is kind of blowing off Jill because he's also got work stuff going on with Bud Harper. But at the very end of the episode, they do a little bit of singing karaoke. We've got Sonny and Cher, I've Got You, Babe, and something I think at the time both you and I said we remember this scene, and it's just a really touching moment between a husband and wife, so I got that on my list as well.
I did not have that one, but if I would have thought of it, yeah, it would have been on my list as well. When I think of emotional, I think of all these horrible things that have happened on the show, but of course, we all know, Jordan, the emotional spectrum is a wide one at that.
It certainly is.
I got you, babe. They say our love won't pay the rent before it's earned. Our money's often spent. Ain't that true?
I guess that's 'cause we don't have a pot. At least I'm sure of all the things we got.
Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I've got flowers.
All right, two more for me. Season 7. We just watched this. We just covered this on the podcast run. 2001, A Space Odyssey. Tim and Mark. Mark's having a tough time, and he changed his look for a girl, and the girl rejected him, and Tim kind of has a heart-to-heart with Mark. There aren't a lot of those, because Mark just kind of comes in and says something kind of weird or gets burned and then leaves. But Tim says, hey, you shouldn't change yourself, and if you are, maybe that's something wrong with the girl. And, Mark kind of blows up at his dad, but his dad's trying to help. It's a good scene, kind of an honorable mention for me.
I thought I was uncoordinated.
Dad, what does this have to do with me?
What I'm trying to say is that a lot of kids your age feel like they don't fit in. And everybody gets rejected. Believe me, other girls will come along.
Not like Kathy. I even changed the way I looked for her.
Well, maybe you shouldn't change for anybody. Maybe you should just get used to who you are.
That's never gone over big.
I know how you feel.
You don't know how I feel, Dad. You don't know anything about me. You don't know anything.
Hey, Mark.
And then I'll also say Season 7, Episode 1, the beach scene of Quest for Fire. This is the first episode of the season. They're up in Traverse City. Tim is kind of experiencing one of his many midlife crises, I guess. But the episode is he's kind of been acting boyish, and he wants to move up there and so on. And they have a real heartfelt scene on the beach where he sort of talks about what he's afraid of and so on and so forth. But yeah, good scene.
That's a good list right there.
Can you deal with this without buying a lodge?
I'll try, but I want to leave that option open.
Okay. And it's not like you're going to have to go through it alone. I'll be there with you.
Yeah?
Yeah. I want you around when I start going through those hot flashes. Hope you'll be sensitive.
I'll try.
I mean, there were some others that I thought about as well. I remember there being one where they take down the place set to make a gazebo, and so they have the flashbacks with that. And I know there's some, we're getting towards, we're not at the end of the series yet, so I know there will be some with Jill and her hysterectomy, and maybe there's stuff in the series finale as well. So viewers, you can't don't get mad at us, but that's our list for now, and maybe we'll have to update it in 6 months or so. But that's all we have for now. You guys have to tell us, what you think the most emotional moment was. If we forgot one, if one of those that we haven't covered yet is one of your favorites, I guess not favorites, one of your most emotional moments, let us know. And don't forget to like our video, subscribe to the channel as always, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.